Today on Gamers Couch,
Takenoko.
Hi guys,
Hello.
We're in Japan.
Seems. Let me start different. A new hope. After the long warring between Chinese and Japanese states, a phase of peace has arrived for everybody, and the Chinese emperor tried to settle that peace with giving a very valuable present to the Japanese emperor. A very
black and white,
cuddly, soft, and hungry present, to be specific. Takenoko is a game that merely goes about A. gardening, B. feeding pandas, C. screwing all your friends while doing so and trying to do it better than all the others, because you are all people working for the Japanese emperor and trying to, get a hold of the Japanese gardens and using them to feed the panda. But also you have to kind of, work the feng shui here and make things look nice. So you have to build nice-looking gardens while Panda is running rampage through it and eating all and still have it look nice, I guess.
Well, the easy thing is the stone and flower garden parts of the specific lands of gardening of the Japanese emperor are not interesting to the panda. He's just wild on bamboo. So that pretty much narrows down the section of the garden that you really have to take care of.
And that is actually the third, and I think the oldest of the three games with a Japanese flavor we have that was made by Antoine Bowser with
Fangirl.
With Hanabi being one of them, and all about fireworks, and ghost stories being the
and
other
Samurai.
one. Oh, it's a fourth. And Antoine Bowser sure has a
thing.
Japanese thing going on.
He has a thing for the Japanese culture, I should say.
Yeah, I entirely forgot about it. Yeah. So
how can you forget about an Antoine Bowser game? How can you?
Sickness, mind rot, something like who knows?
Being you.
Yeah.
Let's start with reviewing the game, talking about it. And if you're new to the channel, not knowing what the two of us the hell do on Sunday mornings with 2 cups of coffee in our system, we review a game starting by the rules and gameplay, then going on to the likes and dislikes and any experiences and funny stories that we had with the specific game that we honor that week. We honor it if it's
actually, it's
fangirling so hard.
It's only her who's trying
like,
to attempt to review something. I'm just rambling about whatever. I don't drop to the floor.
Let's try not to drop anything this week. No, I did enough this week with the card dropping
your
stuff.
Your feet are safe? Okay.
Yeah, so start, my dear love. Tell me what Takenoko plays like.
Well, Takenoko is a kind of strategic, it's a kind of very strategic game where all of us, or 2 to 4 players, are working for the Japanese emperor. Everybody gets a little player mat. And by the way, let's get that right out of the way, very cute artwork. Makes everything look cute.
Now I'm beautiful.
Yes. So
we're off to a good start.
every player gets one of these, and although that may look confusing at first, it entirely encapsulates what you are able to do on each turn and what may happen to you. The game itself is placed with these little hexagonal, they're hex pieces. Starting with the water pool, whatever, what's that? The pond, the imperial
fountain.
Yeah, see, we have the German version, and while that term may differ for the English version, it is house on water with where you place all the other tiles, and each tile looks very similar to that. So you literally start off with that one in the middle, and you will start building more and more around these tiles and kind of building out your garden. If you want to place a new tile, with the exception of it being next to that center one, there already has to be two different tiles before you can put something on here, because otherwise it will be kind of difficult to start. So on your given turn, you first roll that die, with the exception on the first 3 turns.
First turn.
The first turn for every player? Or
yeah, first turn for every player.
So on the first turn you don't do that, but essentially what you do, you roll the die, and depending on what symbol is shown here, you get a little bonus for the round, with the question mark being a wild card. So essentially it's 5 boni.
At least if it's Latin. I don't care about the bonuses
it's 5,
in the English.
It's 5 Bonnie Taylors.
Tyler. Bonnie Tyler.
Well, whatever.
Taylor Swift and Bonnie Tyler, pop culture, not his thing.
I think she's not that Swift anymore. What?
She's big.
What?
The Swift code's also called the big code. So, I'm sorry.
So whatever. The panda is Swift, so even big persons may be Swift. However, let's get started with that die. So you may find that the symbols of the die are on top of here, and surprisingly, as I said, this game kind of explains itself with one of these tiles, with the die roll being the upper thing, then the actions you can do below, and this is where you store the stuff you may get. As for the die roll, it's quite simple. If you roll the red side, you get an additional action. So typically you only have 2 actions per turn. With the red side, you get an additional one. Important part for this is you're not allowed to do the same action twice. So out of these 5 actions you see down here, you may use 3, but it has to be 3 different ones. Then there's the watering field that allows you to grow bamboo on one of these beautiful fields, and we'll get to that in a moment. There's the wind field, the swift wind field, that allows you to do the same action twice, which may be powerful. The thunder lightning field that allows you to move the panda to any place on the board and eat there, if I remember correctly. Also, there's the cloud field that allows you to take one of these little markers, and we'll get to those as well too in a minute. And last but not least, the wildcard question mark field that allows you to pick any of those. So, what are these actions that you can do, or what does the game turn look like? When it's your turn, you pick 2 out of these 5, meaning either place one of these fields, so you draw 3, choose 1, place it, and the other ones go back under the stack. You may be allowed to take one of these blue wooden...
You're not Spock.
Watery or water pipes, I guess is the better term of things. You may move the gardener, a person who is very much suffering under the reign of the panda bear. You may move the panda bear, or you may draw a card. And that almost brings us to how do you progress in the game, how do you win the game. There's 3 different types of objective cards that you start out with, and you may draw new ones. There's the panda must be fed purple ones, that essentially lists what kind of bamboo the panda wants to eat. Then there's the red gardener objectives that give you points for being able to grow a specific kind of plant, or to a specific height, or in a specific location. So the gardener literally just cares about making the bamboo go pretty big and look magnificent and be in an interesting environment. And thirdly, I kind of alluded to that with saying Feng Shui, the agricultural planning card that kind of, so Eastern Germany knows this. By decree of the emperor, you have to build your gardens to match a certain shape. So as you can see here, and maybe get another one. This gives you an idea what kind of color the those hexagonal fields have, and in what shape they have to be arranged to be counted as that. Once you fulfill one of those, you can show them to the others in your turn, and then those are worth, let's say, 3 points, 4 points, and essentially, yeah, that kind of progressing. And you agree upon, I think the default was seven of these for 4 players, 8 of these for 3 players, and 9 for 2.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can kind of adjust that if you want to have a longer or shorter game. But you agree on a fixed amount of objectives to be fulfilled, and the first one who does that gets the green "The Emperor is very proud of you" card that is worth 2 points in addition to that, and then you tally up the score and see who has the most points. So why is this game so strategic in its decision making and so on? So let's say you first action is you draw 3 of these tiles and then take a look at them. And by very surprising means, I have drawn 3 different ones. So I would kind of look at my objective cards and try to figure out, well, I need to grow some green bamboo, so maybe I'll plant the green one. But I may also have the objective card that says you have to arrange the red ones or pinkish ones, magenta.
They're rose colored. It's not even hot pink. Sorry, painter talking.
The whatever ones that that where you may have an objective card that says you have to arrange them in a specific order, and well, the stack is kind of limited in some points, so if you want to build those, you have to get started. By the way, you don't have to necessarily fulfill all of the objectives, but you're limited by only being able to hold 5 of those in your hand. So yes, if you're not happy with what the objectives that you have, if they look too difficult at the moment, draw some new ones. But once you get to 5, you have to kind of get working at some point in time. You can't be all pander and just sit down and eat stuff.
Nom nom.
By the way, movement on these boards, if you have the, let's see, I'm trying very hard to show this to you without looking too ridiculous and having things done. So, first of all, if you let's put these 2 guys on here. So if you decide to, you can see hopefully, if you decide to move the gardener, you can move him along a straight line. So he could not go from here to the green one, but could go either to the yellow one or to the
rose colored,
the whatever one. Now, if you have wherever that dude lands, you get to plant a piece of bamboo. Also, on every adjacent one that has the same color and we'll get to that, is watered. So, let's say if you move him here, these 2 would get bamboo pieces. If there's already a bamboo piece, you put it on top of it, and kind of stuff grows out up to a height of 4 pieces. Now, much to the detriment of the sanity of the gardener, if the panda moves here, the panda will eat one of those pieces, and that goes onto the player board. So you just put it onto the little stomach piece of the panda, where it stays until you pay. One of your panda wants to eat this stuff cards with that, and then it goes back into the box. By the way, the same thing applies if you move the panda by virtue of the dice, by rolling the lightning thing. You would just move the panda to any space. If there's bamboo, you get one because he eats one. Or if you roll the rain, you can pick any of these fields that is watered and then place one bamboo piece on that. So it's kind of similar. You always have players pushing for one or the other direction, either trying to make some nice looking plans while others try to eat stuff and kind of ruin your gardening during that time. So what do I mean with the field has to be watered? If you move the gardener to this green one, that is unfortunately not watered. The reason for that is every field that is next to this the center tile is considered watered. If you want to have another field watered that is a little bit more out, you need these watering pipes, and you place them on the edges of these tiles, and once there's a watering pipe right next to the field that you want to kind of land on, it is considered watered.
And then you can grow the bamboo.
And then you can grow the bamboo. Now there are some special tiles, and you've seen one already because I placed it there haphazardly, that come with a little icon on them. In fact, if you roll a cloud, you get to pick one of these, and these three are gardening, what's it called? Not fork, a gardening tool, whatever. Whenever you place this one on any tile, it always grows 2 bamboos instead of just 1. Then there's the little always watering pool thing that makes a field considered watered wherever it is. So that is actually quite powerful. You can have some far off space and then don't have to build some watering pipes down there. Unfortunately, this only counts for the field that is placed on, so you can't put that on a field and then start building a watering pipe from there. You always have to go from the center field. Although you can build off existing watering pipes, and you can bunker these pipes on your sheet until you need them, so that's that. And the third one just means that the panda is not allowed to eat here, which is great if you need to garden up to a specific height, for example. And as I said, some of these already have them printed on. If there is one of these tiles on here already, you may not place a second one, you may not override one, so once one of your free ones is, or your loose ones is placed, or you have this one put down, you may not put an additional special tile on it. To everybody's surprise, that's the game. So you will start off just with the center tile. You will build out in all directions, trying to fulfill your objectives, either moving the panda around, eating bamboo to get rid of the "he has eaten this or that bamboo piece" card, or you may try to place the colored tiles on the ground to match up your feng shui plans, or you may move the gardener around to grow bamboo up and try to fulfill your gardening objectives. And there's no right way to win, to be honest. It's all quite balanced in terms of it's more about making the call if the objective cards that you have on hand are actually doable with what's on board or what the other players are pursuing. So let's assume you're in a 3-player game, and if 2 of those 3 are pursuing feeding the panda, you'll have a hard time doing some gardening work, because once you place, you can only place 1, in best case 2 of these bamboo fields on a single tile. Maybe you get some more on the adjacent tiles, but you'll have mad pandas running around eating away everything, which just delays you. So at that point, it might be cleverer to focus on the more planning stuff and just draw more of these and try to match up with your whatever thing you need to do here. Depending on the difficulty, those are also worth different points. So green is quite common, so feeding green bamboo to the panda is only worth 3 points, while yellow is not as common, it's worth 4 points. And then going forward, the whatever ones go up to 5.
Rose-colored.
And a colorful mix of one of everything whatever is worth 6 points. So you can see that the more difficult the task at hand, the more points you get. Maybe difficult is it's more how unlikely that is to have on the board, because if you have 3 of these fill-up red cards and the entire board that other players laid out consists of red ones, it'll be very unsurprisingly that you're ahead in front of them. But then all the other players just may need to pay attention that you're profiting way too far from whatever they build. It's kind of one of those games where you have to coax everybody else into doing your work or working towards what you want to do. You don't want to start building water pipes for them. You want to keep them to yourself and only place them if it's unavoidable in some way or form. You preferably want to see them growing bamboo, so then you can send the panda in there and eat everything, or convince them to grow bamboo and then pull the. Well, it's very cool that you build those 4 bamboo tiles on a gardening tool space. Now I'm getting 4 points for that. So it isn't necessarily your job to build that. It just has to be on the board during your turn to be able to show the objective card and then score that as a point. Which also leads to some kind of, I'd almost say, end game race where people will probably very often say, I'm drawing new objective cards in hopes to draw one that they can show off and then say, yeah, it's already on the board. To be fair, there's a variant rule in there that is supposedly making it harder by saying you may not pick up an objective card if that condition is already fulfilled on the board. We can discuss. I don't think it's too terrible. Yes, there's this run at the end to finish the game by drawing cards that fulfill what's on the board. But given that you typically only have 2 actions to do stuff on the board, that is a kind of push your luck thing. You waste 1 action and you fill up your hand, which may prevent you from drawing additional of these objective cards.
Well, the thing is that with that variant, I would at the end of the game just not draw the blue cards. I would go for the gardening or for the panda cards instead. And just try to.
It's for all cards.
Okay.
So for example, with the panda one, if you have 2 green on your board, you're not allowed to draw the 2 green one. Although that's kind of getting ridiculous, because if you stack up on all the bamboo, at some point you're theoretically not allowed to draw any of those. We can talk about our experience, but
later
it didn't impact that. Everything that well. And in fact, I think it's quite refreshing to have something that speeds up at the end game.
2 rounds of Takenoko is better than 1 round of Takenoko, so try to get that in one night.
True. I think I have not forgotten anything. So at the end, literally, it's simply who has achieved the full set of objectives first, then everybody else gets another turn, and the one who finishes first gets the Emperor Very Proud of You card. And
the top.
Then you start counting if you won or not, and if you have not won, you accuse everybody else of giving you a black thumb with planned life.
Well, you got that in real life. It's a good thing you don't always have that with playing Takenoko. Otherwise, you wouldn't play it with me anymore. So once in a while, I have to get some bamboo. Growing on your tiles as well.
It's a weird mix of an action-based. I don't want to call it worker placement. Yes, you can. So with your tile, there come 2 of these little discs, and you're supposed to put them on the action that you want to activate this turn, to prevent you from doing the same thing twice. But I think that's
more for the kids.
That is more due to the fact, as Sarah said, this is 8 years and plus, to kind of remind everybody what you've already done and that you don't repeat that again, making things a little bit easier to control for the young ones, the younglings.
The new gamers.
Yes, but it is certainly an area control game that mixes things a bit up with having not only being able to control the area, but harvesting from those areas that you control, and as I said, kind of trying to get other people to take control of that area so that you can reap the benefits that they sowed, so to speak.
So I think that concludes section 1 of the Gamer's Couch, and let's go into section 2, likes and dislikes, which is, spoiler, my favorite section of the whole video. It's finding out what he thinks about a game, because we only say like or not like to have this whatever game on the table again, but we're not telling each other why before the game comes to the Gamer's Couch. So this is me finding out what he thinks about the game, and I hope it's all good things, because it was a gift from me, so you have to like it for one reason. Give me one good reason why you like it. So please start. And I sip coffee very royally.
No, I have to improvise because I'm kind of betting of making her.
Oh, I can go first. I just didn't want to, start the section and then.
There's quite a lot that I like about that game. So first of all, it felt very balanced for two 4 players. To me, it never felt better at 2, better at 4, better at 3. It's working out pretty well. Obviously, the more players you have, the more it's not randomness that's going on the board, but there's more actions in between your turn and your next turn, which kind of might screw up your plan, but you have to do the, for you, optimal decision anyway, and you can only plan ahead so many times with that. And since you don't know what the objectives of the other players are, you might guess, but you have to anticipate what's going on there. And there's obviously a fair share of luck simply by rolling that die each turn, except for the first turn.
Being so teacher.
That mixes up things quite a lot. Otherwise, in terms of gameplay, it doesn't look thinky, and I wouldn't say it's thinky or it's very thinky, but it has a lot of, can I do that? How can I get there? I can't get there with what I have right now. I would like to do this as an awesome combo, but I can't, and maybe next turn, what can I do now to make the most out? And it is, while it sounds quite confrontational with the I'm going to go through every bamboo thing with the panda and eat a lot of the stuff that you actually want to do, it's not that bad, because you in general you will be ending up growing more bamboo than the panda can actually eat each turn. But you can screw people over a little bit by placing the panda into weird spots. So if there's only, let's say, one of the whatever fields on the board,
rose colored,
and you have a weird board setup, you can use your turn to place the panda on a field that is not in a direct line with that one, and keeping them from getting there, or just taunting them for trying to water a field, trying to grow bamboo on a field that is not watered, or placing the panda may not eat here token on a field that everybody else desperately needs, and you don't care because you're more interested in having those tiles arranged in a specific order or something like that. But it's not a take that kind of game where you would steal bamboo from another player or something like that, which I think makes it pretty good for playing with kids. What the other thing that makes it pretty good for playing with kids, also for tall kids or large kids, is the artwork and the components. All
So
of this
pretty.
is painted wood.
Yeah.
They look really nice. They feel great because it's some actual wooden tiles. You have seen this already. It is just gorgeous, cute artwork everywhere on everything in here. I think the manual comes with a little comic, which is only 1 page long, but it's kind of nice if you're sitting down with kids and showing them, hey, look at this colorful little game. And then you kind of pull a surprise twist and say, "Ha! You're a strategy game. You didn't see that coming," and then you got him.
It's a strategy game in disguise. This is the cuteness factor when you open that box is overwhelming. I mean, aside from the artwork, which he already mentioned, there's one other thing that especially to gamers or parents of soon-to-be full-grown gamers are probably loving a lot, and I hope I don't.
That's fine.
The inlay is great. This is a game to be played out of the box. It has a quite thin manual, so easy to teach, easy to learn, and you just can jump right in and start enjoying this game. And then once you finish, maybe not the first round because you're just trying to get to know the game, but the second round's like, hold on, this is not a classic family game. This is I could play that with my gaming group, with the adults, and they would enjoy it as well. Maybe not for the cuteness factor and not for the bamboo and not for the theme, but for the laying the tiles, thinking, how can I screw over my friend? Yep. So I really, really like.
Yeah, gameplay is very solid, and on top of that, it has a great theme, artwork, and components, and as you said, the inlay. I always kind of that's super bonus special points from me if a game comes with a nicely done insert that keeps everything in place and makes things look appealing. I mean, it's like a dish that is presented in a very, very appealing manner when you open it up, and everything is where it's supposed to be, and that's
So were you? I mean, if you watch back a couple of episodes to the December Advent time when he actually got that in his Advent calendar, this was not a game that was on your wanna have it list. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So this was more of a surprise.
Yeah, it was. Having seen that the year before at Essen, at one of there's like a big deluxe version with a panda that's like this big and which
gorgeous.
Is quite expensive, but if you bring that in with some 8-year-old kids, then you may be the hero for the foreseeable next 30 minutes for them. But I was aware of that game, and it was on the
maybe one day, but not on the. I'm going to order that next week. So when you unwrapped your gift in December and saw that you got that game, were you looking forward to it, or like, yay, we got that game, or was it like, oh, yeah, nice, but not as thrilled as with Pandemic: The Cure that was also on the calendar and the Marvel dice?
No, it's quite difficult to say up front, but I mean the thing that piqued my interest here is obviously it's from one of the board game designers we like very much, and so far, Antoine Bowser didn't do much of stuff that I didn't like, so chances were high. It looked a bit like a target group children, so the artwork is a little bit deceptive about it. Yes, you can play that with children, but that it has some very solid gameplay underneath, and it was interesting finding that out by.
Initial question now is: are you or were you thinking that it was as good as you liked it? Are you surprised? Are you like, oh yeah, I expected that once I unwrapped the game, how much you liked it? That was pretty much the initial question here, going through all the steps.
And I think I answered your question already, but...
No, I don't know what your expectations were when you unwrapped it, so that's... I mean, you really liked the game and you play it a lot, especially when with my parents, because they ask over and over again to play it, but did you expect liking it as much as you did, aside from the designer pretty much sneak peeking that it's going to be a good game?
Yeah.
Wow. 10 minutes of question to get yeah.
It's maybe that is due to how I kind of go in without well, I'd say let's see how this turns out, because it could be that the game is not to my liking at all, but that
So I was lucky.
That only comes out through playing the game.
Yeah.
Okay. But that being said, yeah, it was on the we'll get that later list, because it
we had so many other games.
There's other games, and to be brutally honest, if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, here's a great game about a panda ruining a gardener's day every time and eating the bamboo he plants," that's not as captivating as let's say there's superheroes clashing against each other. You can make your own superhero.
Is there a superhero that is a panda? No. There's none. Right?
Well,
not in the universes that I know.
I don't think so. Well, not a superhero.
Marvel.
If you call Pokemon into that, you may.
They're not superheroes to me.
It's a stretch.
Yeah. Anyways, so finishing up the second section of the vlog.
You haven't said anything yet. So
I did.
No, you still need to say what you didn't like.
There's none. What am I supposed to say? You not playing it often enough with me, the day not having 48 hours so that we can squeeze in one of the games every day.
Yeah,
this is an awesome game.
So I can see what I said initially, that the end game then tends to go everybody drawing objective cards, and the last two cards kind of being about who gets more lucky with drawing the right cards. I can see that someone might be put off a little bit from that. That being said, as I also said, I like that speeding up of the game towards the end, and that it is a race to the conclusion. And as far as I've been concerned, I didn't find that someone who got lucky in the last draws with the objective cards, if he did win by a small margin doing that, then it was mostly because he played quite strongly for the rest of the game. So there's no, well, screw you, whatever everybody else played really good, but I'm gonna win because I'm drawing the high point cards at the very end, and then taking the lead with that. So at least it felt that way for me. If someone wants to find something nitpicky, it might be that's a thing that...
Well, you know, if you play it with adults only, I wouldn't do that as much with kids on the table, but if you play it with adults and you have this end game phase and one person wins by the small margin, you can really yell at them. It's like, you're not worthy of winning the classic way, like really going in there insulting people.
Despite this being a cute game, you can give him shit for that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what. Yeah. And I'm holding off that story. We have to rate first, and then we can go into experiences, funny stories.
And last but not least, if you really are offended by that kind of ruling, go for the variant rule.
Yeah.
And life should be good there.
Yeah. So, rate?
This gets, I think, a full 5 bamboo.
Ooh, that's great. And I'm totally bamboozled. on this one, which exceeds the 1 to awesome scale. Saying.
And it gets the rare 5 whatever bamboo.
Ooh.
Was it because yesterday was Valentine's Day?
You were still looking through the rose tint.
No, it might be the alcohol, the rest alcohol. So, what are you giving this game?
I said I'm bamboozled, which listen, comprehend, which is higher than the 1 to awesome scale. Why don't you listen to what
I know. I just realized that you probably have planned that pun for a long time, and now
Captain Obvious.
I feel bad because I'm torn between a face palm and a.
Come on, it's so facepalm that it is good. It's like, oh my god, how many weeks did you plan this? No, it was just the beginning of the vlog, so I'm good. But we're getting into the don't. We're getting into the third section, funny stories and experiences, and going back to the yelling at adult people. I remember one game that we played New Year's Eve with my parents, and my mom was the lucky winner at one game just because of drawing lucky for the last 2 cards there, and we were all very close with the scored points in the end. And he was pretty much like, oh, God damn it, go wash your hands, go leave, how can that be? And that on New Year's Eve, how can you stop, how can you finish off the year like that? So it was just in good fun, and she was like the little girl, but I'm so cute,
In
and
good
I
fun.
can control the panda.
That's what she thinks.
Yeah.
It was dead serious for me.
Sure. No, it was every time we played that. Did we play it with your parents yet? No, we didn't, right? Did we?
I think we did.
I'm not sure. But anyways, I think all the... well, you played it with the boys when I was on vacation, so how was that going?
Well, how
did they...
It went how do you expect it to go with a game like this? So you have...
yelling at each other all the time.
Three
dudes.
Well, arguably grown men sitting around the table, moving the little painted panda figurine around.
All going for the rose-colored bamboo, because it's so pretty.
Going for the whatever bamboo, yeah. And shit-talking each other, because that's what you do in a game that's kind of made for young kids. It's like...
Awesome!
What the... Yeah, no, it's fun. It's very girly-like in its first appearance.
Why do I imagine sticks with a bow?
If you missed it, the whatever color is also very dominant in the insert.
Why do I now think about sticks having a pink-colored bow?
Yeah, no teacups were involved, so we didn't go for the Dortmund or Germany tea party.
No, but I mean it's. So that was also an occasion where you really just enjoyed yourself playing the game, having fun playing 1 round or 2, and then going back to the serious board gaming.
No, it
with
was.
The guys. I mean, it's serious board gaming with my parents.
That game here was quite serious.
So not only shit talking, but really trying to go for the win and
we don't
play.
Play
nice.
To be clear, we don't play to be looking good while playing. We're playing for the win, and there's
good, very good.
Friendship is a very loose term once a board game hits the table, and maybe that's kind of how you find out if people are your friends, if they still talk to you after you threw the bamboo eating little bitch in their face. That is this guy.
And now I have to beep you. Great. Wow.
Saying, yo, you wanted to collect those whatever colored ones? I don't think so, because my panda is eating it all. You were planning on having it grow up to 4 pieces? Well, tough luck, Cookie, because I can do 2 actions, and the same actions will be, first of all, I will move the panda there for eating, and then I move it somewhere else. That kind of screws you even more, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
Good times. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's a game that, although it's a proper big game, not a dinner game, it has dinner game qualities. I could easily have a podcast with it if I just played with you. If I have the bigger round, no, not so much. But it's
I think
it's lovely.
That's mostly from its moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yeah.
As I said, you can try to plan in advance, but I mean, unless you're holding a gun to the other player, if he does not do what you kind of were expecting him to do,
and that doesn't help either. Because I said you have to make the dishes and take down the trash, and you sleep in the bathtub tonight, and still you didn't change your action there. It's not helping. So just enjoy the experience and suck it up.
And,
you know.
And actually, another thing I said, great components, good looking. I really like the paint job on these, and it's I guess these are not really focusing right.
No, because here's the focus.
But they're
on that.
They're looking really nicely done.
Nicely done.
Also, the gardener looks way more friendly in this one than he probably is, and I gotta hand it to him. Most of the time I'm feeling sorry for him because he's really giving everything to get this magnificent garden up and running, and then little shitface here comes over and what?
Now I have to beep you again.
And eats it all away. It's a terrible little
fellow. Anyways, let's wrap up the vlog, and you're not going to do the hand thing today. No, not the mantis style.
Oh,
no, let's wrap it up. Or do you have anything to add? Did you forget anything? Did I cut you off?
Yes.
What did you forget? Don't do the hand thing.
Okay, continue.
Thank you. Gosh, screwing it up again. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday. Do what you like and enjoy it. And we're going to see you next week on the Game of Couch again. If you feel that other fellow people that you know should see this vlog, like and share it. Also, why not subscribe to the channel? All the lovely art, cooking, and board game stuff will happen here every day of the week. And goodbye-de-die. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Cheerio. Goodbye. Now you can do the hand thing. It's fine. Thank you. Bye.